Before we start the video, I just want to let you guys know that we launched a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt on the merch shop, so go ahead and click the link down below in the description. It's a great way to support us here at the Liberal Hive Mind.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Hey, just because it's 2022, and I mean, geez, time passes way too fast now, doesn't it? It feels like 2015, 2016 was yesterday, but just because it's 2022 doesn't mean we've all forgotten about the Trump curse, right? Various celebrities and political figures, of course, come out with public statements or come out and protest in what's clearly disingenuous political grandstanding to advance their own career, come out as vehemently anti-Trump. And in many cases, celebrities and athletes who have no base of knowledge within the political realm all of a sudden become very outspoken in their criticism towards Donald Trump and Republicans. And nearly every single time, a little while later, it seems as though they just seem to fizzle out, disappear, receive tremendous backlash, or even in a lot of cases, they get arrested on crimes. Those condemning Donald Trump as a criminal and a corrupt tyrant, they themselves turn out to be the criminal. Some call it justice, others call it the Trump curse. It's a phenomenon we haven't spoken about for a really long time, but it's a phenomenon that apparently continues to be true, real. And in this case, of course, none other than Megan Rapinoe, who used her short stint of cultural relevance to push a completely dishonest gender pay gap lawsuit, as well as attack the President of the United States, instead of doing what she probably should have been doing, which is focus on her career as a professional soccer player. Well, lo and behold, folks, just a couple years later, Megan Rapinoe is officially cut from the U.S. women's soccer team. Call it karma, I don't know what you call it. All I know is over here we're calling it the Trump curse. And let's go over some examples. But of course, before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, if you guys have been following this channel, then of course you see this as no surprise whatsoever that Megan Rapinoe has officially been cut by the US women's soccer team. Cancelled. Woke soccer player Megan Rapinoe left off US women's team roster. The wokest of all US national sports teams just got a little less woke. The U.S. women's national team head coach Vlatko Andonovski has called up a roster that features youth and players the team will rely on in the future. It does not, however, feature noted anthem protester Megan Rapinoe. And this is of course no surprise to anybody. Megan Rapinoe, instead of focusing on soccer and delivering championships, of course after the failure of the U.S. women's team's recent performance, getting knocked out almost immediately going in as the #1 seed, instead of focusing on her teammates or representing the United States on the national stage, Megan Rapinoe thought it was more important to protest the national anthem, protest the American flag, push political rhetoric, Black Lives Matter, anti-Trump rhetoric, disrespecting the White House and refusing to visit while Donald Trump was in office. And of course, instead of playing soccer, Megan Rapinoe leads a completely frivolous lawsuit claiming that US soccer is underpaying female athletes compared to their male cohorts, which of course was total baloney considering, respectively, the women's team was actually being paid a higher percentage. They just aren't filling stadiums to no one's surprise. She's dedicated her entire career to becoming a woke icon, willing to tell lies and dishonestly sue the organization that has given her an opportunity to be on the world stage and develop her notoriety in the first place. And of course, during that time, during her transition, I guess we could say, from athlete to activist, well, she went from being one of the top goal scorers, an actual performer, somebody who deserved to be on the team and even lead the team, to in certain cases, in certain seasons, scoring literally 0 goals and being a non-factor on the team. And yet, even despite that fact, absorbing all of the oxygen in the room, all of the media attention, making everything about herself like a true leftist narcissist does, and creating a toxic work environment for her and her athletes with multiple reports coming out that she forces her teammates to take political stands with her and to kneel during the national anthem. So of course none of this is any surprise. It's no surprise that she's been cut from the team. I mean, frankly, I'd be pissed. Someone making a mockery of the US women's national team, pushing phony political messaging, being an absolute hypocrite, getting the team involved in a frivolous lawsuit that leads in national and I'd say even global embarrassment, and all the meanwhile racking up endorsements and making tens of millions of dollars, even becoming Subway's spokeswoman, being featured ahead of Steph Curry and Tom Brady in commercials. We covered that before, how absolutely crazy that is, that Megan Rapinoe, who is literally scoring 0 goals for the US women's national team, is the feature athlete for Subway's branding, with Tom Brady and Steph Curry, the GOAT and the greatest three-point shooter of all time, and 3-time NBA champion Steph Curry. Well, after all of it, is it any surprise that Megan Rapinoe's career is over? Of course it isn't. It's the Trump curse, of course. But it's not the idea that you speak against Donald Trump and bad things will come. It's the idea that if you act like a disingenuous political character, acting in such a selfish manner, putting yourself ahead of the team, putting yourself of everybody else, trying to make millions of dollars and grow your own personal brand, getting involved in politics when you probably shouldn't, and alienating your key audience, well then you get what comes to you. And that's utter embarrassment and the end of your career. Megan Rapinoe might have made millions of dollars, but what are millions of dollars worth without dignity, becoming a global laughingstock, and having your career crash and burn in such humiliating manner, having the entire internet roast you for the divisive political nonsense that you spew, and for the ridiculous lawsuit that you started? It's the Trump curse, folks, and people just don't get it. You know, within the world of comedy, it's the exact same thing. There's actual funny comedians with integrity who are equal opportunists, and then there's unfunny, self-interested, narcissistic hacks who see Donald Trump as an easy target and make Donald Trump essentially their entire existence. And let's just say those people crash and burn just as fast as Megan Rapinoe did. And that's what the Trump curse is all about. People who would rather fan the flames of division and make everything about themselves, cause untold cultural and social damage to the society around them just for political gain. Truly despicable characters. And speaking of truly despicable characters and the Trump curse victim number 2, the man who was such a hero to Brian Stelter and CNN for his fight against the Trump administration during Donald Trump's first term.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. I don't know if it's a good thing that star power and TV savvy is required for the job, but I think it is. And by the way, I think President Obama also had a lot of TV star power, and that helped him pre-Trump. But Trump is more evidence of this. And looking ahead to 2020, one reason why I'm taking you seriously as a contender is because of your presence on cable news.
The man who CNN said should be the next president of the United States on the Democrat ticket, Michael Avenatti, crashes and burns in absolutely spectacular fashion, convicted of wire fraud and aggravated identity theft for stealing from Stormy Daniels. Another self-interested, narcissistic, this time crook, trying to use the anti-Trump hysteria for his own benefit, and crashing and burning in possibly the most spectacular fashion we have seen. I mean, for Pete's sakes, at least Megan Rapinoe is still somewhat of a hero on the left and still has millions of dollars. This guy, pretty soon after he's done in prison, is going to be sleeping on a park bench in the middle of New York City. A man who said he was going to take down Donald Trump and only managed to take himself down, and of course embarrass himself once again, and also of course embarrass his key client, Stormy Daniels, who ended up having to pay Donald Trump legal fees. Absolute clowns, folks. The Trump curse continues to be very real, adding on to the recent victims of the Cuomo brothers and Jeff Zucker at CNN over the last 4 or 5 years. The Trump curse has taken many a victim, and I don't feel bad in the slightest. This is what happens when you're a disingenuous hack. That's also what I got for you guys, though. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe. I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.